Welcome to today's episode of Gender Chronicles. This episode is for all the brothers, the black brothers, the brown brothers, the white brothers, the red brothers, the yellow brothers. All of you brothers, wherever you are, whatever you do. Gentlemen, lend me your ears. It is time we speak truth. Not that diluted, sugar-coated version that makes cowards feel safe. I'm talking about raw truth. The kind that strikes like a thunderbolt and leaves no room for illusions. And today, the truth is this. It is not the women on OnlyFans who are to blame for the moral rot of our society. It is the men who bankroll it. Yes, I said it. You. The man behind the screen. The man with the credit card. The man who complains that our women are no longer pure, no longer modest, no longer graceful, no longer mothers, but who spends his nights drooling like a fool, pouring money into the pockets of women you've helped turn into a product, a spectacle, a machine of exhibitionism. Let us be clear, a society is only as strong as the moral discipline of its men. And if the men are undisciplined, if the men are weak, if the men are hungry for instant gratification, then do not be surprised when the women follow that weakness, mirror it, and market it. You say the women are selling their bodies online. Yes, that is true, but they are only selling because you are buying. A woman making $500,000 a month shaking her behind on camera is not a miracle. It's a symptom of a diseased manhood, eased. And don't give me the excuse that it's just entertainment. No. Entertainment is what you do when your soul is intact. This is escapism for the spiritually bankrupt. This is addiction. This is economic lust. This is the prostitution of a whole generation, not at the hands of pimps, but at the fingertips of simps. You want to know who the real pimps are in the 21st century? The men who subscribe, who like, who pay, who tip, who fuel this online sex economy. You have become the oppressor you claim to hate. You have become the plantation master of the digital age, throwing coins at women to dance for you, and then turning around to scold them for not being virtuous. What kind of twisted logic is that? You build a house of sin, and then curse the devil for living in it? When you give your dollars to OnlyFans, you are not just tipping a woman, you are tipping the scales of civilization itself. Every time you click that button, you're paying for a culture that robs your daughter of dignity, your sister of security, and your future wife of modesty. And what do you get in return? A moment of pleasure and a lifetime of emptiness. And I'm supposed to call you a man. A man builds, a man protects, a man defends. What does it say about your spine, your heart, your purpose, when you become a consumer of your own demise? The same men who cry that women are undateable, unmotherly, immodest. These are the same men feeding the beast with their hard-earned dollars. Hypocrisy, cowardice, madness. If you've made it this far, please support the channel by subscribing and liking. Share the episode with other brothers, and let's change the world one video at a time. Okay, let's continue. Let me tell you something else, and I want it to burn into your mind. You do not civilize a society by feminizing the men and prostituting the women. That is not freedom. That is decay, masked as choice. That is liberation dressed up in chains. And it is not new. It is as old as empires. The Romans did it before their collapse. The Babylonians drowned in it. Now it is your turn, if you don't wake up. I'm not here to preach moral purity as some preacher with no understanding of struggle. I know men have desires. I know the pain of loneliness, the seduction of images. But if your manhood is so fragile, so feeble, that you need to rent digital intimacy to feel alive, then brother, you are not oppressed. You are owned. You are not a victim. You are the architect of your own spiritual enslavement. And what of the girls? What of the 15-year-old who watches this world and sees no value in books, no power in knowledge, no grace in modesty, but sees a path paved by silicone and subscribers? Do you think she chose that path because she woke up one day and lost her soul? Or did she see a market you helped create and, like any savvy entrepreneur, walk into the demand? You didn't just corrupt her. You taught her that being naked is more valuable than being wise. You turned her body into currency. You turned her spirit into a commodity. And then, like the cowardly hypocrite you are, you turned around and said, "What's wrong with girls these days?" What's wrong with girls? No, brother. What's wrong with you? You think you're just one man, just one payment. But there are millions of you. Millions of men rotting the foundation of civilization, one click at a time. One subscription at a time.
You're building a digital Babylon, and you have the nerve to wonder why relationships are crumbling, why marriage is dying, why women don't respect men anymore. It's because you don't respect yourselves. Let me remind you, every dollar you spend on that platform is a vote against fatherhood, a vote against family, a vote against honor, a vote against women themselves. For how can a man who loves women spend his life corrupting them for pleasure? Let's not pretend this is harmless. The mind that watches smut daily cannot hold wisdom. The soul that seeks pleasure from pixels cannot lead a family. A man who worships the naked image of a woman can never respect the sacred soul of one. You don't want wives, you want whores. But when you get whores, you curse them for not being wives. You cannot sow poison and expect roses. You cannot degrade women and expect queens. You cannot fund the fall of womanhood and expect to build the future of manhood. So I say again, stop blaming the women. Start blaming yourselves. Take your dollars back. Take your dignity back. Take your discipline back. If you want women to be sacred, you must first treat them as sacred. That means stop watching them strip, stop paying them to degrade themselves, stop rewarding their lowest impulses and then demanding their highest virtues. You say you want a good woman, then become a good man. Not a man who hides in shadows, not a man who tiptoes around truth, not a man who makes excuses, but a man who looks at the mirror and says, "I built this hell. Now I must tear it down." So the next time you open that app, the next time you reach for your wallet, ask yourself, am I a man or am I a slave? Am I building a home or am I feeding a fire that will burn down everything I say I love? Because brothers, when you fund corruption, when you reward immorality, when you participate in the downfall, you forfeit your right to complain. You have become the enemy of yourself and your community, and worst of all, the destroyer of your own daughter's future. It is time to rise. Time to reclaim what it means to be a man. Time to break the addiction, kill the cowardice, and rise in discipline. The world needs men who will stand tall, not stoop low. This is your reckoning. Peace to the righteous. Fire to the cowards. Thank you for tuning in. Please support the channel by subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting. Share this episode with other men, and let's change the world one video at a time. See you in the next one.